What's up, guys? Welcome back to FishOfHex. Today we're going to do an update on my dead Apex base unit. This happened Friday. I did post a brief video kind of going over what was going on and really what my weekend was going to be like. And I told you guys that I'd have an update on everything here in the fish room for you guys on Monday. So if you are following me on Instagram or Facebook, you know that I already went ahead and purchased a new base unit. It's actually the brand new upgraded version from saltwateraquariums.com. They're located in Gettysburg, about an hour away, so I went ahead and drove down there, picked it up on Friday, and got to work probably from, I don't know, 2:30, 3 p.m. on Friday, and I got 90% of the fish room done by midnight, and then had to come in here and do a couple more hours on Saturday to finish it. So yeah, it was a huge pain in the ass. It was very stressful. It was actually so stressful that I started getting, ill because I didn't sleep very much. There was a lot going on. You got to think, my entire YouTube channel, my business, my dream tank is all kind of intertwined with the Apex. And you know, I never thought it would actually fail until I experienced it, and it's very stressful. So if you have the money, one of the things you might want to do is have a secondary base unit, and you can copy over the actual program file, and then you can have basically a backup if something was to ever happen. Now, there's a lot of people who don't like Apex or like controllers because of the fact that it's a single point of failure. And I will admit that it's very comforting to have an Apex, and it makes life really easy with programs and feeding, having the Alexa and taking care of the CO2, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. And it's just one of those things that I love having, but there is that risk, the point of failure. And it's going to be blue, so I apologize. But yeah, I got the new Apex, I got it hooked up, got the tank back to normal. It was pretty pissed off. I will admit the polyp extension was not the way it should be. The temperature was stable for the most part because I had additional heaters, and I might as well talk about that now before I start jumping around. So basically, if you have an Apex or you're relying majority of your stuff on a controller, I would recommend that you still have the basic stuff as if you never had a controller. So that means having multiple reliable heaters with reliable thermostats that you can basically just plop into your sump, plug them in, and they'll take care of the heat and the temperature and all that stuff for your tank. Also, making sure that you have additional pumps, basically power heads and stuff like that. Maybe you have them programmed through your Apex and they don't stay on. You still want to have that surface agitation, so having that stuff around is definitely good. Now, in the beginning, when you're programming your Apex, you can set stuff like your skimmer, your calcium reactor, your dose, you know, your what's I say? I would say dosing pump, but other pumps to just stay on if it was to ever get disconnected from the base unit. So when mine went down, the skimmer stayed on, the return pump stayed on, my calcium reactor pump stayed on, but the regulator did not work because that is being controlled, the pH, through the Apex. So maybe having something I might purchase here soon will be having that the external pH basically regulator that hooks up to the CO2 regulator that controls when it turns on and off. So if it was to ever fail again, I can just provide a power source to that that device, and that will take care of the pH in the calcium reactor. So that might be something I'm going to purchase here soon. It's definitely on the list now that I've actually experienced my first Apex death. And no, it has not shied me away from having an Apex because I do use it so often in here, and it just works out really well for 99.9% of the time that I can't justify getting rid of it just because I had this one issue. Now, again, I have things here that prepare me for if the Apex was to ever die. So that's one thing you guys have to make sure is you have those additional pumps, you have those additional heaters, and you have an ability to connect to power. So having extension cords, having surge protectors, having all that stuff on hand, understanding that someday it might fail, and you're going to need those things to make sure that you can keep the system up and running. So a quick rundown on the process for me. Basically, I mentioned earlier when I had the issue that I was going to rewire everything. So that's exactly what I did. I moved all the wiring over here next to my stand, and basically those are all the adapters for the radions, and just put everything over here where it has better air access. It doesn't get as warm. It's not behind the tank, so there's no water, no chance of water ever getting on it. So I'm glad I had that opportunity to take care of that and to organize things. And it was nice to have the upgraded unit, I will admit that. But I don't know, I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy, but I have a feeling between all the classic Apex going down a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden mine just completely dying. It's kind of like, hey man, here's your wake-up call. Now go spend $400 and upgrade your system so it doesn't happen again. You know, that, I don't know. I've had a whole bunch of comments, people saying that, and I'm just kind of, I try not to let it play through my head, because who the hell would really do that to somebody? I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, so if you guys had an issue with your Apex completely died on you, let me know, because I actually know one other person locally that had the exact same Apex and it died as well and was forced to upgrade. So, you know, 2 times of it happening to 2 different people within a week, that kind of, you know, gets you thinking, you know. So, other than that, the fish room is doing well. The tank, you'd be surprised how much this damn tank uses up in 2-part. In just 4 hours, to keep it at, even at 8 DKH, which is 1.5 points lower than I like to keep it. I usually like to keep it 9.5. Just to keep it at 8, I had to dose 250 milliliters, and it was struggling to stay at 8 DKH. Basically what I did is I tested alkalinity every 2 hours, made adjustments with 2-part, which I had on standby here. Same thing with the frag system, tested every few hours, dosed as needed, and you know, thankfully the alkalinity was good, the temperature was good, the flow, the power heads were programmed to stay on, so the flow was good. It was just kind of a waiting game and dealing with the massive amount of wiring that I had to do to redo all of this. It was very, very exhausting. So yeah, it was a long weekend. Basically, you know, everything was done on Saturday, but again, trying to recover from the stress, and you know, just the overall experience was not fun. And you'll be surprised when you have that much stuff on the line, and then when it takes a shit, how stressful that can be. It's one of those things like, hey man, the business is finally doing very well, and I'm doing great, the tank looks beautiful, so yeah, let's go ahead and have the Apex die, and let's go through that whole fiasco. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Everything is good, everything's back to normal. People have been requesting Apex videos. I'll try to get around and make those for you. It's one of those things that, you know, they just kind of pop up when I'm doing different stuff with the Apex. So, yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm looking to get at least 4 videos out this week. I have a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be building another frag system for 2 more lowboys. That's coming up. We got a lot of stuff. You know, got a bunch of new coral in, finally got that done this weekend, and the frag system got new acros. We're up on the website. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to show you guys, and I want to come in here, and you guys, it's going to be blue as shit. But we're going to remove this colony, this FishOfHex Millie, and we're going to replace it with a Walt Disney. So I'm going to show you how I start that process, because you don't want to obviously remove the entire colony because it's pretty big. It's hard to tell in video, but it's pretty big. So I'm going to show you guys that whole process too. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you later. Peace.